What?
Egg holes for wheels.
Loop.
Okay, topic number 1.
Oh, wait,
The egg
what?
hole.
We're doing this?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're doing this.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay.
What?
Somebody wants to know if you guys got caught skipping school or sneaking out.
I never got caught skipping school, but I did sneak out once. Like my whole teenage years, I snuck out once out of the house, and it wasn't even worth it. It was probably the lousiest time I've ever had for 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so basically, I won't get into details. I won't say this person's name for obvious reasons, but basically, they invited
What
me out.
obvious reasons, man?
Oh, to protect the satisfied.
Okay.
So, I think I was going to be a junior in high school, and I snuck out and I walked all the way down my driveway, which was like half a mile long at the time. It was like super dark, and so I snuck out of the house without the dog barking, which was a miracle in itself. Ran down the road and then jumped in his car, and he drove a Volkswagen Jetta, like I'm talking early 2000s, and drove us over to the football field and
Jetta.
did sexual things on the benches or the bleachers, and that was pretty much it. Drove home, and that was the worst time of my life. I totally should have stayed in bed, so would not recommend.
Okay, you have a dog attacking you right now. Do you
I know, I'm trying to.
Did you get caught?
I didn't get caught. No one knew, except for he threw the condom where you would find it later when people came back to school. And then there was this thing going around the school like, oh, but some kid found a condom by the bleachers out by the football field, and whose was that? And I was just like, not mine.
Didn't write your name on it.
No, fuck.
Oh, you're the first one to say the F word.
I know, within the first 10 minutes.
Almost. Alright. You get excuses because you're being attacked by a...
I know, I'm being attacked by a dog who wants my attention.
Yeah.
I'm
let's see. What was the question again?
Have you ever been caught skipping school or sneaking out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing sneaking out of your house or skipping school.
Yeah, you went skipping out, like sneaking out of your house, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't... This guy's trying to attack anyway.
Okay, magic wand.
So, I would say,
There you go.
I did the whole dumb trick at one point in time when I was, I would say, freshman year, high school. I'm only saying that because I want to be nice, but really it was probably 7th grade. Stuffed my bed full of pillows and put made it look like I was still there, and then left the house and didn't come back till the next morning. I did get busted on that. Yeah.
So you're telling me that the pillows didn't fool anyone?
It didn't. No. Well, it did 2 times before that, but the 3rd time
they caught on to you.
They caught on to me. I was like,
got your ass.
Yeah.
Well, at least you
I
tried.
also have one more.
Okay.
It should be really fun, I think. Anyways, we had a dean. So we had a dean that would. They knew when the organized skip day of school day was, because we would try to make it like underground, and like everyone would skip school at the same time. But the dean caught on to that, and we would skip school and go to Daytona Beach, right? Like right during spring break. And we got busted, man. So like you're talking about like 65 miles away, the dean would drive over to the beach just to be like, aha! Caught your ass. I knew you guys organized that. Yeah.
The fact that this man drove all that way out of
Yeah.
spite just to be like, haha, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, nothing would really happen. But he would just
Imagine having such a free schedule. You could just pop on over to bust some kids.
Totally. I think he just wanted to hang out at the beach, and he was like, all right, it's my chance. I'll go give them some detentions or some shit. What else you got?
That was it. Like, I really didn't do anything bad as a teenager. I pretty much stayed to myself. I didn't go to any parties. I didn't hang out with the wrong crowd because there was no crowd. Yeah, I was a boring teenager. I really didn't do anything bad.
I didn't do anything bad. I did
or got caught.
I did a lot of.
I mean, I've done a lot of things that I didn't get caught for. So,
I stayed adventurous.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. I stayed adventurous, as in,
Like, just enough.
I lived right on the line, but I dabbled that edge a lot. But yeah, that's pretty
I'm
much
really
it.
liking this microphone, by the way.
I hope it's working.
I hope we can hear you well.
I'm pretty
You're
sure.
holding it kind of far.
Okay, how about now?
That's better.
How about now? How?
I miss
Have
old
you
school boomerang.
Exhausted that topic?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't got any stories.
I've got a lot more, but I don't know if
You can
I
tell.
don't know if anybody else wants to hear it.
I'm listening. I just got no stories about that. I didn't do anything cool.
I don't believe you.
Not until like after high school and I was like 19, then I started doing things.
That factors in. I think.
Okay. Something interesting, but not with like sneaking out. When I was 19, or I was turning 19. No, I was turning 20. I was turning 20, and I asked my mom's like, so what kind of cake do you want for your birthday? And I was like, I don't really want a cake, Mom. Can you just give me the money so I can buy a bag of weed? And she literally was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
Although the cake would be nice after, but I went with a bag of weed. And $30 later, I found...
Did she do it?
Yeah, she did it. She gave me $30 that day. And I went and bought a bag of weed and hotboxed my Volkswagen Beetle. And it was like just barely raining, but it was so nice and the sun was still out. It was a great time.
What color was the Beetle?
Gray. Like metallic gray. It was 05.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until something goes wrong in those fuckers, and then you're paying up the ass to find out what was wrong with it. German engineering sounds enticing, but it's really just a scam. I would never recommend buying another German car.
Unless you know them.
Unless you know someone in the field that can help you out, because I did love my Mercedes in high school, but that was... You really have to love the kind of car.
You were that girl. You had a Mercedes in high school.
I had a Mercedes, but not what you think it would be. I had a Mercedes because my mom found an ad in Montrose, Colorado
Nice.
in 2011 for this old lady who was selling this garage-kept 1983 Mercedes. It was an SCC 300, I think, and it did some research, and there was only about 5,000 of this model made in the entire world, and they stopped making it after 1984. And yeah, I was one of those people that had one of those cars. However, it was fun, but it was a V8, and the V8 wasn't what you thought. It was a cruising car, so it would catch up to speed, but it wasn't like a whole ass, like a 0 to 60 in 5 seconds kind of car.
Was it a sedan?
It was a coupe, actually.
I had an 82 wagon Mercedes.
Do you want the mic over here? No, it's okay. I have a passable mic.
No, I just love cars, especially German-made cars.
Yes, and it wasn't until later that I found out the exact...
I like the way they smell.
Mine smelled like an old man because that's who drove it. But it was
Right,
blue leather
they
interior
always
with
smell
blue
like
carpet,
old men.
dark
Always.
wood trim. But the same model I drove was shown in the film Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. When he drives in, that's the exact same car I drove as in high school. And I was like, oh my god, I'm one step closer being cooler because Patrick Swayze drove this car. Not exactly, but the model. I don't know. I felt tickled. Okay,
You should.
it was cool.
You're closer to Swayze than I am.
Huh?
You got closer to Swayze than me.
I did in a weird, fucked up way. Yeah.
It's okay.
But one time, the back rear window that was a triangle window, the electrical went out. And to temporarily fix it to make it go back down was $300, not to actually fix it, but just for them to get it to go back up. And so my mom's like, whatever you do, do not roll that fucking window down because it's gonna stay down. So yeah, it was all fun and games, but when it started falling apart, not really, but when things need to be fixed, you're looking at least $1,000, no matter what it is.
Oh, no matter what that is, I'm having a really good time holding this thing.
Look like a fairy.
You're just missing another one with a cigarette on the end.
Oh yeah, man, we could probably make that happen. Okay, what we got next? I could go on that for a while, actually. There's so much more.
Totally up to y'all.
No, it's not.
Okay. These people want their topics heard. Random topic number 2. If you could participate in one historical event, what would it be?
So it's like a multiple choice, or we just have to pick one?
Anytime in history, I guess, that we like.
What?
Yeah, anytime in history.
That's like a-
event. Which one would
You're
you
talking
choose?
about like millions of years.
That ain't my question.
I mean,
Really?
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Think about it.
I meant to. Hit
There's so many places I'd want to go. I would say financially, something really dumb that I would go back in time for, knowing that I know exists now, is inventing the Snuggie. That's a fucking reversed robe. Are you kidding me? And some dude's out there a millionaire now because he said, I'm gonna make a reverse robe popular. Something super simple.
That's a time in history that you would like to.
Financially, yes. Like, there's many times I'd like to
Oh
go
my
back,
God.
but if I'm gonna make some money in the past, that would be it.
All right, reread the question because maybe I don't understand. I might not have got that.
If you could participate in one historical event, what would it
Event.
be? Yeah,
But
historical
you're not
event.
saying financial, right?
No, just a
No, that was just me throwing that out there.
historical event is the creation of
Fucking Snuggie.
That's good. And you, you would definitely have.
You know how much money I'd have right now? Or just any silly, like, inspo or
Not that
infomercial.
Not that much,
Cross
man.
with that shit.
Oh my gosh, if I invented Crocs.
The best thing about Crocs is that it got featured in Idiocracy,
Yeah,
the movie.
a joke in 2006, the reality in 2024.
Right. Yeah. Exactly that. Shit, dude. Can you ask me that question one more time?
Yes, you have to put your
It's-
fairy wand up.
The fairy wand can hear me.
If you could participate in one historical event, what would it be?
Honestly,
That's too hard, man.
This sounds
that's
fucked up.
That's really hard, man.
I have a few. They're all gross, though.
I know, mine are too.
I
I'm
would-
trying to choose which one's grosser.
I would want to go back to the Mayans and watch them sacrifice someone to the sun god and rip out their heart and then cut off their head and then throw it down the stairs and they catch it like it's a fucking volleyball. I would go back to that time because that's when society was truly brutal.
Welcome to
Alright.
Rachel.
All right. Yeah, I got you on that one for sure. So Willy Wonka was real thing, right? That's not fictional.
I don't know if that was fictional.
That
Or
might have
not.
really happened.
I'm sure in some basis, yeah, it was drawn from something.
It really happened.
It really happened.
Yeah, I think so.
That was good and clever.
It's very daddy. Man, I don't really know. I guess you're talking about all of. Can you ask that question one more time? I'm serious, man.
If you could participate in a historical event, what would it be?
Right now.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to have a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say right now.
Because historical is like in the past.
Yeah,
So
5
something
minutes.
that already happened, like, I don't know.
I'd say right
French
now.
Revolution. Or
Either that or the making of any Monty Python movie.
That'd be a good one too.
Like any of it.
I was gonna.
If I could be on the set of the Holy Grail, or
Your father was a hamster, and your mom smelled of elderberries. I think it was backwards of that, but yeah.
right.
And they would just taunt him from up top of the
that's
castle.
historical, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, those movies are a cult classic for sure.
If I could be on that set, I would like that. That would be my thing.
I would say that's
either that or The Life of Brian.
That's true.
Yes.
See, nah, I want to go back to guillotines, public hangings, the good old days.
Well, you're a little darker than I am on that.
I know, but
I would like to watch you do that, and then
I would honestly volunteer for free.
Have a comedy on that with the Monty Python cast. We could all get together. It'd be fun. You just do the stunt work.
Stunt work? What does that mean?
You actually have to chop off the heads. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, but that's probably not allowed. I mean,
if you get the right insurance, it's probably fine. But what are you going to talk about there? Like Spanish Inquisition or?
No, I mean, you're just there to observe.
No, you're participating, right?
I'm
say that
participating
question.
by being the
Say that
crowd
question one more time.
of these.
If you could participate
Yeah.
in one historical
You gotta be there.
I would be there, but I'd be in the crowd. I wouldn't
Just
draw
going like,
attention.
yeah.
Yeah, no, because then if they
Stone
see me,
her, stone her.
if they see me teleport, they think I'm a witch, and then you're gonna behead me, and then I went there, to be murdered. I wanted there to be participating.
I would like to participate in the filming of any of the Monty Python movies, specifically Life of Brian. That's my final answer.
Okay.
How about you?
Pretty much anything where there's public execution, I'll be there.
Well, it's in that film.
When America wasn't soft.
Ooh-wee. What does soft mean?
Oh, I mean, it's where we've become to the point where feelings are more important than logical decisions.
Okay, so where logic meets art.
Where emotions meet the non-development of your frontal lobe.
Go.
So
You're ruled and controlled by emotions versus logical thinking.
okay. So you're trying to ask Joe Rogan if he wants to listen to our podcast.
If anyone outside of our own circle of friends listens to this podcast, I'd shit myself.
Really?
Because you think about it, in all the podcasts out there, people are just willing to listen to other people talk. And if we're so interesting that other people want to listen to us, that's pretty cool. Our friends listen to us because they know we're hilarious.
Yes.
Versus the public doesn't know that. So
We haven't made it public, but we have.
we have. It's on YouTube. The world sees it.
Mm.
Or can see it.
I challenge you to a push-up challenge. How many can you do?
Probably 15.
That's fair. That's about all I can do right now.
I know, my upper body's never been my strong suit. It's always been lower body.
I don't think I have more on that topic.
I don't think so either. I pretty
Except
much
I'd love to see like CBGB's like in its heyday. Just be like a roadie.
that's true. I would love to see like the Doors play live. Janis Joplin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking. The whole question is like, what do you want to revisit through history?
There'd be so many stops. Like I would
So
have. I'd go on and on about that.
We're talking
so
like Back to the Future, Future to the Back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shout out Van Jason. Hillard. He gets it. He gets it. He wrote a book, which is really fun. I recommend reading. It's called Future at the Back. Now what?
Topic number 3.
Can I hold it out here?
Yeah, can you flip on the fireplace?
Yeah. Topic number 3, fireplace.
Like that, you know who.
No, can you turn it off?
What?
Like with the button?
Here.
You hold the thing, I'll do this.
Okay. It's been off this entire time.
Okay, random topic number 3.
I have to pee though. Is that cool? No, can't pee.
No, you hold it.
Okay, I can't pee yet.
Hold your ankle. Have you ever seen or experienced something uncanny that you can't explain?
You know, I'll have to call myself out on this one because I feel like I make you go first pretty much all the time.
Okay.
So you go first. What have you seen? It's uncanny.
I was gonna put it on you because I'm like, what seems uncanny? I see so many weird things that it just blends together.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, there's a tapestry of uncanny. What do you want to start with? It's kind of like the last question, a little bit, or last topic. Like, how many historical things do you want to visit?
Too many to count.
Too many. So, right. Have I ever seen anything that's uncanny?
Seen or experienced something uncanny that you can't explain.
Yeah, but uncanny is a weird word anyway. So, I've seen things in jars. I've seen things in bags. Unbaggy. I don't know how to respond. I'm trying.
You're being literal?
I guess so. I don't know. Something uncanny.
Uncanny, strange or mysterious.
Strange or mysterious.
Especially in an unsettling way.
Oh. Yeah, a lot. So there again, it's like, where did I start on that? I got hit by 3 orbs of green light once while I was on a bicycle in Ocracoke, North Carolina. And knocked me over on my bicycle. And woke up the next morning and brought the topic up to like some locals there, and they're like, "Oh, you saw the green ladies? They must have liked you because you're still here." Like it was like it was a thing. Like, okay, you passed a test or something. That's
I don't have anything like that. I lived in a haunted house, but that's about as close as I get to that.
yeah.
Unsettling. Nothing that I've personally experienced, but when it was
No, you got some.
No, I don't. I can't pull anything out of my brain right now. But you know what's unsettling? You drive by all these lakes and canals and river areas or riverways. Think of how many cars are in there with dead people.
Oh, so many.
So many unaccounted for missing people.
Yeah.
I mean, when the homeless go, they don't even like keep track unless they have a jail record. Like
Yeah.
they don't even know they're missing, and they could be in that pond right over there, just chilling. That's what like
A lot of
swimming in
that
lakes.
is a lot of that I think is kind of on accident too. Like they just slide
Yeah,
off.
I mean, there's a mixture of both, like suicide, accidental. Fell asleep at the wheel. There's so many things, and yeah, that's why I don't swim in lakes or canals. I refuse because I don't know what's underneath me, and I really, it just takes me to a dark place, and I'm like, ooh no, that's my worst fear underneath me right now.
Yeah, I don't like that too much either. Like
Creepy.
just not knowing what's underneath you.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you do put on um, goggles or whatever, and you go and check it out, then you know what's beneath you.
Yeah, but most of the time it's so far down deep that you need like scuba equipment to stay down there and actually look around. And it's like super usually cloudy, the visibility is very low. So it's even more intense and creepy because what if something just pops out like in Jaws when he's checking out that boat and that little head pops out and he drops the shark tooth that he was going to present to everyone saying, look, I found this big ass tooth in this boat and something ate this dude because his head's off.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of unsettling I'm talking about.
Has any of that actually happened to you?
No, but I don't want to chance it. I think living in a haunted house was enough.
Tell me about the house.
Uh, that's a that's a long story-ish, but
You can do it short, then.
Okay, let's see.
I want to hear about the haunted house.
Okay. So we
Now you're talking about like water that you're feeling.
Yeah, well, I know.
Was the
Water.
house on water?
No. It was in the mountains. So, we lived in a town called Cedar Ridge, so it's just north of Montrose, going towards Grand Junction, and we lived in that area where it's like the biggest flat top mountain.
Got it.
And so we lived up there, and we moved in 2005, and we moved from Florida, and we didn't know the house was haunted. We bought it from this old couple.
Were they goat farmers?
They were farmers. They had because the house
They have goats
was on,
or no?
No, they had horses. So, because the house we bought was on 13 acres and it had horse stables and an alfalfa field, but it had to be irrigated. And we were from the city. We had no fucking clue about irrigation and how much work that was.
It's a lot.
Yeah, because the first year we moved in, everything was green and beautiful, and then after that, we kind of struggled and things turned brown because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Anyways, and they left us 2 horses that were studs and never broken, so that was a pain in the ass.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and
what'd you do with those guys?
We eventually gave them away because we
just for free. You're just
just anyone who would take them and actually give them the time of day because my mom worked full time and
you're Cedar Ridge.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah. So
all right.
Anyways, that's what we walked into, and there was also a creek that ran through the property, and it was quite amazing as a kid. But anyways, when you find out that there's ghosts in your house and you've never experienced that, but you just heard tales and watched TV shows about that shit,
dude, that whole area is haunted.
Dude,
you're not wrong.
No, I know. I found that out the hard way, and where I lived, it was a old farmer because the house was built in the 70s.
Yeah.
There was an old farmer and this little girl, and we called her Anne Frank, but we didn't name him other than Demon because he was a fucking demon. He tormented me and my brother all the time. And
these are ghosts you named?
Yeah, just Demon and Anne Frank. So, well, he was like
that's nice names though.
He was awful. He would scare the shit out of me and my brother. Like, he had red eyes and sharp teeth. And he was I saw his actual figure and how tall he was, and he would always look straight at me, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's something else. People want to joke, but until you actually come face to face with a fucking demon, it's a little different. Anyways, So
it does change a few things up.
Yeah. So the house was 2-story, and half the first story was underground because there was the garage part in the front, and it would go down on a slope, and you park in the garage, and that was underground. So the the ghost. So there was my mom's room in the back, and then my room was underneath hers on the first floor. And apparently, there was a portal in my mom's closet because it was her room, a closet, and then it walked around over to like an office space that was all connected into like one room, but
It's a
separated by
portal.
the closet. Yeah, that was the portal, and so I started noticing it because I would sleepwalk like really bad all the time, every night.
Yeah.
And I'd talk in my sleep, and my siblings would hear me, or my brother, I should say. My sister wasn't there; she was in college.
I was gonna say,
But,
I thought there was just two of you.
Yeah, it was just, well, I have 2 siblings, yeah, but it's just me
But
and
at
my
the
brother.
time,
Yeah,
okay.
and so try to make this short.
No, you don't need to.
Let's see. So it was just him and I would sleepwalk a lot, and a lot of times this little girl, she would come into my room at nighttime, and I had this chair, and I'd stick like clothes or whatever on it that I didn't feel like folding for the day.
Yeah.
And it was always facing my bed, and I every night would wake up in my sleep, like I was conscious because I remembered it, but I don't remember the conversations. I would sit up, and I'd turn over, and she'd be like right there, sitting in the chair, and I'd talk to her like full on conversations, and then I'd go back to sleep, and like nothing happened every night. She'd come and see me every single night. She talked to me.
Yeah, but it's cool though, right?
She was fine. That wasn't the spirit that wanted to hurt me. She just wanted someone, obviously, to confront her, or not confront her, but like to be there, I guess, because she was never like, she never gave me the bad vibe.
Right.
And so a few times the dude would reappear in her spot when she would leave, and that was the worst time because I didn't know if he was going to get up, I didn't know if he was going to walk towards me, but he had red glowing eyes, I remember it, and the sharp teeth, but he would smile too at me. And one time he got up from the chair and looked right at me, and he started walking towards my bed, and I flew the blanket over me, and I huddled up, and I started crying. I was shaking. I was in such fear.
What's up with the sharp teeth?
I don't know, dude. It was just how he presented himself, and I watched a lot of horror movies as a child, so that didn't help. My imagination made it worse.
Probably.
And
I would think, but
my phone was right next to me, and I couldn't even call or text my mom. I was in such fear, I froze. I was so afraid that he was just standing right over me and was going to do something horrific.
Yeah.
And so I finally got the courage after like 20 minutes of just in fear, and I was like, fuck it. And I like threw the blanket up, and I'm like, fuck you and your shit. And I ran up the stairs to my mom's room, and I was like, Mom, I need to sleep up here. And she's like, what's wrong with you? You never want to sleep in my bed, even as a kid. I'm like, I saw some things, and I'm not safe down there, so I'm going to sleep right here. So that was that story, but when you were home alone and everything was quiet, like no TV was on or anything, you could
Home Alone not sponsored.
You could hear old like 1940s like orchestra music playing in the background, like radio. It was fucking creepy. In my original room, because at the back was my mom's room, there's 2 separate rooms, and mine was on the left-hand side originally. That room stayed freezing cold no matter what time of year it was. Always fucking cold. And then my sister's room, that's where I eventually moved into when she moved to college. And that's where they would visit me every night. And one time...
the cold thing's a real thing, I think.
It is. It's a true thing. And
I've experienced that a lot too. It's kind of
every time I feel it, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. Okay. Who are you?
Who are you? I don't want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one time,
it really is a thing. For sure.
I came out of my room one night or one afternoon. My brother and his friend come through the garage door, which is just down the hallway, and they're like, Rachel, how'd you get downstairs so fast? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we just saw you run up the stairs. I'm like, I just came out of the room because I heard you guys come in from the garage. And my brother's like, Rachel, please don't fuck with me. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, I've been down here this entire time. And he's like, I just saw you run up the stairs. I'm like, no, you didn't, because that wasn't me. And he's like, well, apparently the ghost is
Right.
doing it because I just saw you run up the stairs.
Mhm.
Literally just happened. So that, and then my brother experienced seeing the demon in the garage one night because he has insomnia and he can't sleep.
I just don't know why you guys have not named the demon yet.
We don't want to give it a name because that gives it power. It has an identity in this world, and it doesn't belong. It's a very hateful creature, and
Are they still in the house?
Yeah, it's still in the house.
No, I mean, are they still in the house?
Yeah, because fast forward.
So when you go back over there, then
they're still there. Like they don't leave, and so when my mom sold the house in 2017, the owners within 2 weeks texted my mom saying, "So how long have the ghost been here?" Yeah, within 2 weeks they fucking figured it out. And I'm like, Mom, you didn't tell them that there's ghosts in there? And she's like, no. And I'm like, I think they had a right to know. No one told us, and we just kind of fell into that shit. Also, the farmer guy, the demon, he didn't.
Sorry, can you hold this for a second? I really did have to pee.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, so the farmer guy, he did not want us to be there at all. He wanted us out, which is why he tormented me and whoever he could get a hold of as long as he could. Like, I didn't sleep for shit while I lived there, and he followed me.
I remember you told me about the music part.
Yeah, and my mom finally confirmed it years later. She's like, hey, did you ever hear, like, some weird orchestra music playing when it was really quiet, no one was home? I'm like, yeah, I did. And she's like, oh, I thought I was just crazy. I'm like, no, you weren't. I thought I was crazy, and I thought I was hearing things for a long time, but it was real.
Did you have friends or other people come over and experience it, or was it just revealed to you guys?
No. Other people experienced it, like my ex. When we went back to Colorado and he was with me, he stayed in my room downstairs, and a lot of the times he would complain that he would get really crappy sleep. And one time he's like, Rachel, I'm really tired of you coming down here and poking me and bothering me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been upstairs the entire time. Like, I've left you to sleep. And he's like, no, you've been touching and poking at me. I want you to stop. And I'm like, I wasn't here. I was like, well, whoever that was, it wasn't me. And the girl apparently was infatuated or really wanted something to do with my ex because she was down there every day poking at him. And she'd never touched me or bothered me in that sense, but she was really interested in him. So, yeah, he experienced it. I think that's it. Like, yeah.
Did you have a dog or a cat?
We had cats and we had one dog. We had Jack Russell.
Did they pick up on it?
Yeah, like they would like look around the room and stop, and like you could tell that they were looking at something that obviously no one else could see. But I mean, the way it was presented numerous times, like you didn't have to see them to know that they were there, based on like the coldness in the air. There's a certain atmosphere that you could feel is very negative, and like. So above the garage was a patio that they enclosed originally, was just open. And they enclosed it and put all these beautiful big windows in the front, but it was still very, where you walked on top of it, you could hear below in the garage if you walked through the sunroom. So one day, me and my brother were just sitting in the garage, and we hear walking, like my mom's at work, it's just the two of us there, and we hear someone walking above us. And I was like, Troy, do you hear that normally? He's like, yeah. He's like, I think it's that little ghost girl because I hear her all the time when, no one's home and she's up there. Because she preferred to be upstairs because the demon stayed downstairs most of the time. So she felt, I guess, safer. And that's where she kind of stayed, was in the sunroom. So yeah, every day if you, just sat downstairs in the garage, you could hear her walk around every day without a doubt. Or missing a beat, she was there.
Okay, what about your... Is that still working?
Am I still here?
Yeah, just touched it. I want to make sure it was still on.
Still green.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have a follow-up with Rachel. The
Okay.
copper smell?
What are you doing over? What? You want this thing?
Nope.
You want to come over here?
Nope.
No.
Did there was a smell associated with the ghost?
Yeah. It was the same copper smell. It's very theirs was more earthy metal than normal people because because they were dead, I think. But they there's definitely a smell to the air always, and the atmosphere felt very heavy. If you've ever visited like a he was a tall man, but he followed me to church camp.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's when one time we were coming back from church, and
What's happening?
so
I just don't know if she's recording.
she is.
We're recording again.
Cool. Give me a little like. All right. Cool. All right.
So
Church camp.
yeah, I went to church camp in 6th grade, and it followed me there. Go figure. Could get a break away from it. And it followed me to church camp. And one day we were coming back from like a church service in the morning. We were going back to the cabin, and these two girls like ran ahead of us. And we're like, okay, we'll get there when we get there. And all of a sudden, before I even get there, I see the cabin. I hear someone fucking scream bloody murder. And I was like, oh my god, what? Because for the past few nights, this fucking demon was staring at me as I slept all night. And I kept my head turned the other way towards the wall because I could feel him. And I was like, oh, please just leave me alone. And so I just huddled in the corner and just wait till like dawn because I didn't want to look over. Anyways, so I knew he was in the cabin I was staying in. Anyway, so this girl screams murder, and we all start running over. And I don't know how this even happened, but so the door to the cabin was a wood door, and it had a single pane of glass, like as a window. And for some reason, this girl, when they were running towards the cabin to get who was, I guess, getting there first, she somehow slipped, and her arm went through this glass panel. I don't know how that even happens, or you miss the doorknob in that sense. But so her hand goes through the glass, and it cuts her wrist right open to where her artery is like fucking pumping out. And everyone's panicking, and she doesn't know what to do. She's like 12 years old and freaking out. I mean, what do you do? And so I had my friend's hoodie on, and I was just like, I wasn't really sure either, but I was like, this has to help in some way. So I ripped off my hoodie, and I tied the sleeves tightly around her wrist to keep the blood down until the adults came. But because no one else was doing anything, and I was like, well, I might as well be productive and try to fucking save her from bleeding out right here. But yeah, I just thought that was a strange coincidence that happened, and I don't know how mysteriously it happened.
I don't mean.
It was just. It was weird, dude.
There, so.
I know, but just like. Yeah. Yeah, like I couldn't leave church camp without something horrific happening because the demon was there.
Sure.
And luckily it wasn't me, but the fact that I had to watch it happen to someone else, I'm like, ooh. Yeah, so that was traumatizing in itself. More so for everyone else. I've already seen blood in a huge manner, so I was kind of like, alright, well, let me just tie this down for you until they couldn't get you. And we were on the Grand Mesa, so it wasn't like a quick trip to the fucking ER. Like, that was like a 30-minute drive.
Cortez,
no, the closest one would be like Delta County Hospital, which just to get to Delta from where they were in Cedar Ridge or on the mountain was like an hour.
Yeah.
And she cut a major artery. And I was like, fuck, if she makes it, it'll be a miracle.
That reminds me, myself, anyways, a little bit of a stroke. I got bit by a brown recluse spider.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't that terrible for me when it came down to it. It bit me on top of my head. It's okay. Everybody can hear me.
You're talking low.
You're talking really low. Like me.
Hi! I'll be talking much higher now. So I got bit on the damn top of my head.
We said higher, not retarded.
He said higher. I'm going higher in pitch. Hi. So, in that island, ain't no way to get off of it. So you gotta go by helicopter or by boat. So you get fucked up over there. You got just stuck. You ain't got no other thing you can do. So you get hit by a fucking shark. You get hit by a goddamn. Oh, I take that back, mama. Sorry, I said goddamn. I'll say it again.
You sound like Little Richard.
Choice. And the helicopter ride is $10,000.
Wait. Do you think that's what Stevie Wonder would sound like if he could talk?
I met him once very briefly.
And George W. Bush waved at him.
Yeah. That's what happened.
What do you mean? Is that what he sounds like? You've heard him?
Stevie
I've never heard him talk.
like this.
You heard him sing?
Yeah, but his speaking voice could be totally different.
It does not sound like this.
No.
No, it doesn't. I think I remember that.
Talk higher.
You know what that makes me think of? The bodybuilder. Hold on. Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman.
What?
He was a big fucking dude. Like, he won Mr. Olympia a few times.
Can you handle this voice for much longer? Or is it gonna drive you absolutely insane?
No, he was on the police force, and he worked a full-time job and bodybuilded, but he was one of the biggest dudes of his time.
Yeah.
But he had his voice wasn't super low. It was actually a little bit higher, and so he had like this, everyone knew it was like that. But yeah. Look him up, Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
You know who he is?
That's me.
That's not... Ronnie Coleman's a black man.
That's me.
What you doing over there?
Stop it.
All right. What else, man? I got a ton of... Okay, I got a quick ghost story. All right.
Okay.
It's a really fast one. Happened in Tallahassee. Tallahassee is a town in Florida. It happens to be the state capital.
I was just about to say, isn't it the capital?
I'm pretty sure. Had a house there. A friend of mine was staying over, and he was about to sit in like this wicker basket sort of chair. I was like, "Don't sit there." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Somebody's already sitting there." Because to me, it looked like somebody was already sitting there. I was like, "You're crazy. Nobody's sitting there." And he was like, "All right." And he sat down next to me instead, and we both like looked over at the chair, and the chair went like, "Rrrr." There's nobody in it. This is not like a magic trick. Right?
I would have left so quick.
Yeah, dude, he did. He actually did. And he was like,
"Oh hell no!"
I was like, "Dude, I told you."
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I never saw anything like that, but I don't know what's worse, seeing a figment or an outline or that.
He'll tell you that story to this day, man.
Yeah, that's something that sticks to your head forever.
I was like, "Man, there's someone already sitting there." He's like, "No, there's not." Yep.
Yep, right there.
All right, peace out. From me, anyway. Rachel, what you got?
Okay. I got nothing.
Oh, come on. I don't need...
Do you have to end the would you rather?
Oh, I'd like to.
Okay, let's end it with a would you rather.
That's a good way to do it. So I'm getting the answer because my drink's over there.
Okay, I got tiramisu waiting at home, so I'm like, it's waiting for me.
I have never seen anybody run so fast in my life, man.
I bet
Really,
not.
he was like, "Oh." That was Ben Johnson, the good Ben.
The good Ben.
Yeah, got a lot of Bens.
Okay.
How many Bens do you have?
None.
No Bens?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
But Chris is like the worst name. No Chris I've ever known in my entire life has ever amounted to anything good.
Huh.
All garbage.
Really?
So, yeah. So I stay clear of that name. And then, isn't Veronica's boyfriend's name Chris?
I don't know too many good Chris's either. That's a good point. Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to the good Chris's, because I've
sure
never
you're
met
out there.
one good one.
Would you
feels like a
rather?
wand.
Would you? This is ridiculous. Would you rather have the power to make anyone instantly like you, or the power to turn eggs into gold?
No doubt, eggs into gold.
I always have a hard time with these because, like, okay, so what scenario are you in? Like, it doesn't.
The
give
get
you a
rich
place-
scenario.
Yeah, like, so you're talking about like now, or
Yeah,
you happen
like-
to be on a planet that has like tons of gold, so gold is worthless.
No, I'm talking, obviously, I want it to obviously be in a place where gold is very valuable.
But eggs, I could be on a planet where eggs are more valuable than gold.
Don't make it hard.
I'm not trying to. The question itself is hard.
No, I'm just gonna say in the most general way that for financial gain, eggs into gold would be my option.
So you go for finance.
Yeah, for
What's
finance.
the other one? Make everyone like you?
Yeah, I don't give a
That
fuck.
is horrible.
That's a horrible thing.
So I vote for eggs and gold.
Yeah, because you don't want everyone to like you.
That fucking sucks.
Most people fucking suck.
You
fuck
don't want, no. And they'll turn on you in a time.
Most people, yes. So yeah, I'll take the gold because that's forever.
Yeah, at least you can make some good jewelry, do some good like fucking
Peace of mind.
wiring around the house.
Yeah, you don't have to spend your days at a 9-to-5 job. You just be selling gold, doing what you want, being who
Or
you want to
just
be.
Look at it. You're like, hey, this is an egg, and it's gold.
Like Jesus. Instead of water into wine, it'd be like an egg into gold. You're like, watch me do this. Then they're gonna fucking Section 8 your ass, and the government's gonna be like, why can you do that?
Well,
And then they're gonna
check
use
me
and
out
abuse
online,
you,
dude.
like they did all the
that
aliens
stuff.
that came down to this planet.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's what they would do with you.
Well,
can't let them know.
Not that, but hands down, eggs into gold. You know,
Hell yeah,
just because why not?
why not?
Gold does a lot of things, not just like financially. It's a very like useful element.
Material. I agree.
Makes good wigs.
Gold teeth.
That too. What else? Golden what?
Gold and everything.
Gold-
You could be
gold
like
fleece.
Gold Member from Austin Powers.
Gold fleece.
You can deck out your whole space in gold.
Gold glasses. Gold.
Yeah.
I'm all about eggs into gold.
Yeah.
Everybody like you. You got a shitty life.
Yeah, like, who you trying to please? Like, you shouldn't even try to please your
Nope.
parents once
I'm
you're an
just gonna
adult
run it.
because you'll just be unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hands down. I'm with you on that.
Eggs to gold.
Easy.
Eggs gold.
You're done.
I think. Is there more? I don't know, but
Nope, that was it.
I feel like that was a good ending.
I think so too. Adios.
If not, I'm gonna start scratching my back.
Realize this is anecdotal, but just as one example, in the state of Washington, we had a person who had been convicted of our sex.
You and me, 2 pounds of coke.